Hey everybody, just a disclaimer before we start this episode. It's been about 2 months and a day since we recorded this on May 16th. Since then, a lot has happened. I moved out to a new apartment and work got very busy. We talk about Tower of God in this episode. We have since finished Tower of God. We will have our final opinions on the next episode, which should be out, fingers crossed, on a much more reasonable timeline than this one. Thanks.
Welcome to No Spoilers, the only anime podcast that will personally defeat the coronavirus. I'm John.
And I'm Andrew.
Thanks for listening. So today we got a bunch of different shows we want to talk about, but first, have you been watching anything since the last episode came out that you want to talk about on the podcast?
Yeah, we're going to go into Tower of God, but obviously we've watched, I think now 2 Tower of God episodes, and we'll get into that a little bit.
There's a reason why we can't remember how many episodes we've watched.
Yeah. Other than that, I've watched the most recent episode of Love is War Season 2.
Yeah,
I think it's on episode 6. Yeah, I'm current with that. It's very good. I'm very happy with this season. I'm glad it wasn't delayed like so many other shows. But speaking of delays, if you take a look at all of the shows that were delayed, it's a lot. I'm really I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's just to name a few. I mean, ReZero obviously is it was delayed till July. Sword Art Online, the next season of, I don't know where they're at now. That's in July too. Attack on Titan's in October.
Yeah, Attack on Titan delay is kind of crazy.
The Irregular Magic High School, I know was going to come out in either April or June. That's now in October. So many things. Snafu Season 3, that got pushed to July? Yeah, that one got pushed to July. And other than that, there's really not that much coming out right now. I don't know what's going to happen, really. It's a very unprecedented situation that everything is in right now. Yeah. I'm kind of worried for the film industry, the media industry, and all over the world.
It will be lean times. I finally will play many games in my Steam backlog. I launched,
I think we
get
all
this,
have that.
dude. I launched Danganronpa.
Really?
Yeah. I played maybe like 2 hours of Danganronpa 2. I didn't really play the first one, but I had it all like spoiled for me, so I'm like, I'll just go directly into 2. I think I'm out of the tutorial now. But yeah, the very slow game, I don't want to play it again. I just mentioned that one because it's, anime friendly. Since the last episode, I started watching Dororo, the 2019 version. And it's pretty, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't think we'll do a full episode on it like we are for Hands Off Eizouken here. But it's okay. I feel like, one, it has, I guess, so I'm about 7 or 8 episodes in. I'll just say my thoughts for the show overall here, because it does have some interesting stuff. One, it's a 50-year-old, it's like a remake of a 50-year-old anime.
Yeah, not many of those.
So it has like a lot of that like old time sensibility for anime. Like the plot is like very simple. Well, a lot of parts of the plot are very simple. Like the episode to episode things or events are really just slaying regular ass demons, and like one episode somebody has a sword that's possessed by a demon that causes him to murder. It's like very basic D&D, like early D&D style plot points. But it also gets a lot of things, I think, very right and in an interesting way. So the premise of the show is an old Japanese feudal lord wants an heir. And so he like speaks to like these statues of demons and is like, I'm making you guys a deal. You guys can take anything from me as long as you give me an heir. And, just then lightning strikes, right? Like his like wife or concubine or whatever gives birth to a son. She's already giving birth. I kind of don't get why that's that situation.
At the same time?
Yes.
What?
Maybe he wanted it to be a boy or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, she gives birth to this child, and he has like no skin or eyes or limbs. They have the child taken out to die of like exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wouldn't you know, he doesn't die, and in fact, he becomes like a demon slayer. But he finds the main character, Dororo, who is like this like child who's really scrappy and whatnot, and he saves his life, and then Dororo leads him around. But it's also really interesting because I forget what the doll character's name is, but he can't see or hear. So, well, he can't see or hear at first, but as he slays more and more demons, he gains more and more human characteristics. Like, he gains the ability to hear. He gains, like, human legs. It's, like, really, really weird. But, I don't know. I'm, like, 8 episodes in, and I feel like it's really started to slow down in terms of keeping my attention. I might finish the first season. If the first season finishes strong, I might do the second season, but I don't know. Interesting show, though, I would say. I'll give it, like, the 7 episodes that I've seen so far, I'll give, like, a 6.5, maybe a 7. But, you know, it's old, man. It's, like, back then, it was fine to just have your main plot point be, yeah, we're gonna, like, fight a monster this episode. Like, that was, like, super pog back then, but you can't get away with that. Also, I think it's unlucky because it came out in 2019, and it just so happens another show about slaying demons came out in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, you know, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it was a pretty good show.
Man, I still haven't heard any official news on
The movie?
when the Demon Slayer movie's coming.
Yeah, man.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be fall.
I'm
It might
not
be
worried.
October with all the other ones.
It's the same thing as, like, when Cyberpunk got delayed.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? That's a good thing, because it's got to come out eventually, and when it comes out, I want it to be good.
You think that, but I didn't even notice this. I was just looking through the delayed list of shows. My Team Romantic Comedy Snafu was indefinitely delayed on April 7th.
Oh, well.
And it only just recently was like, okay, hey, we're putting this out in July. I didn't think that it would never get released, but, you know, seeing something's indefinitely delayed like that. Ugh.
Well, you know what? There's an indefinite crisis going on, so
Yeah.
not everywhere can
All
be
right.
like America.
Do we want to talk about the most recent episodes of Tower of God before we get into
Sure.
Eizouken?
That's fine.
Okay.
Also,
so
my food might get here, so it'll be a natural
that's fine.
stop
We
point.
can. Do
when
we
we
want to
finish.
actually stop it, or
Oh, I don't know. First off, I'm gonna have
we
to
should
go get
we
my
should
food.
stop it and then re-record for the next part.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we have seen all of the episodes of Tower of God
Yeah,
so
we
far.
are current.
I think
We're
we are
recording
current.
this on
Episode 7.
May
Don't give the
16th.
time. No, because then when I put this out,
I know.
people will know,
I know.
how long it
I know.
took me.
This is
Don't
like
shame me.
there's the carrot
Don't
of
shame
releasing the
me.
episode, but there's also the stick of knowing
Uh,
that we are recording this on May 16th.
I know.
So 8
I'm
episodes.
gonna
7
soft
episodes
aim
are out.
for Monday. Will that happen?
So
I
since
don't know.
we've been gone, I think we've watched episode 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, we must have watched 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah. Let me tell you, nothing
really happened.
I really could have put that last one out
A lot of people might
at any point.
hear this and say, what are you talking about? 60 minutes of content happened. A lot of things happened, like the Crown game ended, and
Yeah.
we found out that the lizard girl, Anak, that's her name, she's actually not a true princess of Jihad, and
She's just
also
the daughter of
characters
one of the
are training.
princesses.
They're
And
also
also,
having
maybe it's
great
kind of-
fun eating lunch
Yeah.
together.
It's kind of like a school anime now. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's, and I think we've said this off air, but I think this show is, and you know, don't take it the wrong way, but I think it's probably better seen all at once by binging all
sure.
however many 12 episodes it's going to be. That said, a show should be able to stand on its own
I agree.
after each episode, and I don't feel like Tower of God is really doing that.
Yeah, we talked about in the last episode how Tower of God at least the 3 or 4 episodes we had seen at that point were very similar to the Hunter exam arc of Hunter x Hunter, and I still kind of agree with that. But this is my theory that I pitched to Andrew and our friends after watching the latest episode, is that Tower of God differs from the Hunter exam arc in a major way, and that is that Tower of God wants to spend its time developing characters at the beginning, whereas Hunter x Hunter wants to spend its time developing the setting and I guess I would say the world and overall target of the show. Tower of God, obviously we know Bam wants to climb the tower so he can get his wish, but there's not really a lot of development on like how that works, you know, what will come after this weird school arc, or like kind of how the universe works. Whereas the Hunter exam arc, you have almost no character development in the first 7 episodes. So the 7th episode, I looked at this. The 7th episode is the episode where Ghana and Killua are on the airship with Netero and they try to catch the dodgeball. And I'm pretty sure Killua kills somebody there, so
yeah,
you have like character development.
No, he decapitates
for him.
like 2 people.
Yeah, so you have character development for him there. But besides that, we pretty much don't learn anything about the characters. We learn, okay, Leorio wants to be a hunter so he can become a doctor. Kurapika wants to become a hunter so he can like avenge his clan. And Killua kind of is just looking for fun, it seems. And Gon wants to find his dad. And besides that, they don't really care, right? I think that actually works pretty well, right?
Yeah,
because later on, we get a lot of character development and progression, obviously, in Hunter x Hunter. But at the early stage, we don't have a reason to care about the characters, right? I feel that if you develop characters and have no like plot goal that's really fleshed out, who cares, right? Like, sure, we have motivations and conflict for Bam and Kun, but so what, right? Like every show has characters with conflict and motivation, right? You have to give me something that really like hooks me in. And for Hunter x Hunter, that is the quest that they're laid out. That's really characterized in the world that they're in. There's not really anything here for me, I don't think. Sure, I kind of want to see how all of these character stories play out, right? Like, I want to see what's going to happen with Anak, maybe, but kind of not even really. Like, I feel like, she's just going to go on a quest to kill other princesses of Jihad, and she didn't even kill the other one.
Yes,
it's like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Like,
and that one girl, that redhead girl they introduced,
she's cool.
They forget about her?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I want to see more of her.
Develop her, right? I don't care about...
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We mentioned it before, how they've had at least 2 extended lunchtime scenes, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about that as a viewer, right? Like I said, I think
you don't want to know who's having fun with who at the lunch table in this Tower of God.
Yeah. Yeah, who would have thought that I'm watching Tower of God, but the thing I want to see most is lunch table conversation. But no, like, I think you're already spending too much time developing characters, right?
Especially when there's so many.
Yeah, but if you're going to develop them, don't develop them with just, like, you know, cutesy, like, friend stuff, right? And I know it seems like for a lot of people...
The Anak stuff was good, I think.
Yeah, I think it was okay. I don't, you know... Like I said, I need like more motivation than like my mom was killed by your people, right? Like I think that's a little generic for me. So
isn't that what your theory was about Rachel?
Huh?
Was that she was angry at the tower for some reason?
Yeah, no. My theory with Rachel is, and again, we haven't read.
Yeah, not a clue.
We have no idea what actually the situation is with all these characters. We are strictly anime onlys for this. My theory is that like maybe she has already climbed the tower or something, but something happened with her where maybe she was like exiled, right? Because that would explain why she seems competent and powerful enough to not only train Bam, but also kind of find him. I feel like that suggests that she is very like capable, because from everything that we've seen, Bam is supposedly super powerful.
I have the nagging suspicion that he is just a puppet for Rachel, maybe.
Well,
or something like that.
So
that
no,
she
I think,
made him almost. Not even found that. She straight up just made him.
Maybe. I think she's
like
manipulating
there's
him, definitely.
There's that screenshot, I guess, or that frame, a couple of frames in the opening where Bam is like essentially strung out like a puppet.
Well, my theory is that she
that
wants
thought for me.
Revenge on the people, like maybe the King of Jihad, or like the people who run the tower. By the way, we don't really understand that, right? We don't like the King of Jihad is the first person to climb the tower, but is he just like kind of unrelated to this system of climbing the tower? All of these like exam administrators rather, are they like working for King Jihad?
I mean, we know the only thing we really know is that he's got those girls.
Yeah,
I guess.
Like
is that harem? I don't know.
I don't think that Tower of God should be Hunter x Hunter. I want to make that clear, right?
Yeah.
But as a comparison, right? Look at how well early on the Hunter, what is it called? The Hunter Association. The Hunter Association is fleshed out as an institution, right? We understand that it is a powerful multinational institution where you have so many people doing so many different things, right? And one of the early episodes, we have the food hunters. I don't know what they were called.
Yeah. Gourmet hunters, I think.
Yeah, probably gourmet hunters. We have Jing, who I think is supposed to be like a ruins hunter or something like that. And then we have like all sorts of like other, hunters where we later, again, I only want to pick like 7 episodes, but it's not just the first thing that you would think of when it comes to like a group that call themselves the Hunters. I just want more exposition on the world, right? And they've given some, but I really think not enough.
Also, pacing for me has been an issue. Again, I feel like maybe the same issue where it'd be better if you watched it when it was done all at once.
I said this after the end of episode 7. The only reason why I'm sticking with this show is because I've heard really positive things about the webtoon, so I have faith in it. If this wasn't so hyped, I wouldn't still be watching. I don't think. It's like, I don't know. It's almost boring. These last couple episodes, they've almost been boring, I think.
I said this after, or I guess before the most recent episode. What even happened in episode 5? I still don't remember. I think you've told me again.
It's the end of the Crown
remember.
Game.
End of the Crown Game. What even happened that episode? Nothing?
We find out that there are multiple
I don't think anything...
swords, and they're named after whatever. Anak says she's going to take Bam's sword, and I guess she does, so that's development, but it's like, so what, right? Like, we have no idea the gravity of the situation, so... and then we see the red-haired girl, who, again, we've seen, I think, 2 times since then, and both of them, they're just scenes where she says nothing and does nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
It's like, what is this? Why is she still wearing part of the mask? Is that important to her? Like, tell us, please.
Yeah, not feeling great. Although the Crunchyroll community I see is feeling very great. Where we have 532 5-star ratings, and then every other rating, there are 58 of them. 58 other ratings. Strong 5-star anime, I guess. Whatever. Oop, my food's here. I gotta go get my food. Be right back.
Did you stop it? John, did you stop it? Oh, I'll never know. And we are back to talk about Hands Off Eizouken. Hands
Off Eizouken, I want to say I saw maybe like one reference of it on YouTube maybe, and I thought it looked okay, but I wasn't super interested. Maybe I read it on like Live Chart or something. But so yeah, I read about it on Live Chart, and it sounded, I don't know, sort of interesting. The premise, I think, is not exactly unique, but it's new to me in that it's a show about the creation of anime. I was really surprised after the first 2 episodes. I was like, this is a really good show. So
yeah, episode 1, this one got me almost instantly. It was unique, very creative.
Very funny.
It had, funny, and it had kind of like a movie vibe to it, almost.
Yeah.
And I think that carried throughout the show. That it was pretty consistent.
Yep.
I think we both agree that towards the end, it got a little... I guess it ended not as strong as I would have liked, but I still liked it overall. But yeah, it's a 2020 anime. It came out January 6th.
Yeah.
It only just finished airing in March. Kind of got, I guess, swallowed up by all the things happening right now. But this is the, I want to say, really only third major anime from Science Saru, the studio behind this show. A very kind of not well known, but
surprising,
not really,
honestly, like, because it looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe because the people behind it are not exactly amateurs. The director is Masaaki Yuasa. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but he's I think he was kind of perfect for this show. He is, I guess, more often a key animator or just a general animator and script supervisor. He has done some other directing, and then it looks like in 2013 he formed this studio, Science Saru, and since then they've made, they've made Ping Pong the Animation, Devilman Crybaby, two I think fairly popular and good shows, and then they came out with this. It's really good, I think. Yeah. I think it's very inspired. It's very creative.
Really, one takes advantage of what animation has, and two really kind of makes everybody know that, right? Like, they talk about one of the major arcs of the show is with one of the main characters. What's her name? I always forget the idol girl's name.
Asakusa. Oh, that's Mizusaki.
Yeah. Like, Mizusaki's major...
the three names, the three mains.
Yeah, Mizusaki's major character arc, especially for the beginning of the show, is that her family is like traditional media, right? They're like an actress and a director, I think, right? Mm-hmm. And certainly in the West, animation is seen as like a kind of the same way that video games were seen, and to a large degree are still seen, as like a second fiddle for film and television, but her arc is to show what I do is legitimate, and what I do is legitimately art, which I mean, I think it's art, but that doesn't really matter. It's what matters is that it's a good arc, and you can tell that like the people who are making this anime are really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Knowledgeable,
not maybe? Knowledgeable, but
or
they're passionate about what they're doing.
Passionate. Yeah. I think this show deserves a lot of praise for not only showing the process of making an anime and then kind of incorporating that,
and that the process sucks, dude.
Yeah, and sound direction in this show. But yeah, that sound director, I looked up her kind of history. It's Erika Kimura. She's worked on, specifically also with Masaaki, Devilman, Ping Pong the Animation, and then she's worked with Miyazaki on Ponyo and The Wind Rises. Yeah,
that makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
this show gave me kind of Ponyo vibes.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also a very smart show. It's very technical, but it doesn't kind of belittle you if you don't get it. It shows you more than it's really cool. I really like the show.
Yeah, and I think it does it the right way. Like it'll show you everything, and you can kind of just take what you want, Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's they have also the opening.
The opening's fun. Yeah,
I really like the opening. It's fun. Yeah, it's Kelmiko. I've never heard of them or any of the other openings if they've done any. I think it's a very good opening, very fitting to the show.
One thing that kind of is weird is they're actually doing a live action adaptation of this show. So I guess it's the source material is a very popular manga in Japan, so I guess it makes sense that they'd want to do a live action show, but I saw a clip and I don't know. I feel like I mentioned how one of the major arcs of the show is proving animation as a legitimate medium, but at the same time you have taking a manga where the traditional avenue of adaptation is anime, and then you say, well, we're gonna make a live action adaptation too. especially with a show that's so inventive like this in terms of its like scenes, how a lot of the show is just like honestly the imagination of these characters. You're gonna take that and try and do it live action. Like the point is that this is like one of the perfect shows for animation, right?
Yeah.
It shows the power and capability of the medium, right? You don't have that capability in real life.
Yeah.
So why would you do that? It kind of just
I don't know. I saw a clip of it.
It shows
very odd.
that like I think like producers are very not tone deaf, but just like deaf, right? Like they don't understand why people like the things that they like. They're like, oh, people like this story, not like they have no. I don't know. I won't.
It's odd.
Yeah.
I don't know why they made it either. But we can talk about the characters at least.
Yeah, let's talk about
I
the
think
characters.
some of the best characters of any show I've
for
seen
sure.
in a long time.
Really, really interesting characters.
Something you might not have read. 2 of the 3 mains are making their debut in this show.
What the voice actors?
Yeah, it's Asakusa's voice actor and Mizusaki's voice actor.
Wow.
With Asakusa, it's Sairi Ito, and Mizusaki's is Misato Matsuoka. Both younger actresses. As far as I can tell, their first anime that they've worked on. I think I was reading some of the others. They'd done some dubs for something else, but really the first main anime they've worked on. And of course, Kanamori, not a not a newbie, very, very prolific voice actor, has been in quite a lot of material. How to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon, Digimon, lots of Digimon. She's been in Anohana, really just a massive repertoire.
Who is she in Digimon?
And that's who is she in Digimon? She is Koshiro Izumi, main.
Oh no way, she's Izzy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, dude. That's funny.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. Dr. Stone, not so much. That's all right.
That's lit.
She's also in Invaded.
Oh really?
Actually, I didn't
Who
see
is
that.
she?
Yeah, she was Haruka Kazuta. I think that's one of the well-sided guys. Oh no, never mind. It was the hole in the head guy. It was the hole in the head guy that was being controlled by the girl.
Really?
Yeah. The Gravedigger.
Yeah, no, Kanamori is one of my favorite characters in like any show. She's so
great.
Funny.
She's very funny.
But you know what?
Really
you know
like
what's
Kanamori.
very interesting too? They could have just very easily made her a character who like my motivation is to just make money off of you guys. But like, and maybe that is the case. Maybe she only sees this as a financial relationship. But even if that's the case, she still does the groundwork to put her animators in the best possible situation, right? Like, I feel like in a lot of situations where you have, I'll refer to Kanamori as like management, right? You have a lot of situations where management are kind of just like, you guys are talented, we're gonna throw you to the wind and not give you any support. And you will, because of your talent and the fact that we're giving you these, this technology or whatever, you will find success, right? But I don't need to do anything. Kanamori does the groundwork, which is like really interesting from a character, right? I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole show is essentially a behind the scenes show, but there's a lot from Kanamori, especially that was really nice to see for her character. I also really liked Asakusa, the little one with the hat.
Yeah, they're all funny, man.
They're all very good characters, and it's a good show. It's just crazy to me that this show comes from a studio with essentially 3 anime, and it's this good.
Yeah,
like it's so good.
Yeah,
it's really a special show. I think people who love anime will love this show.
Yeah, so we actually haven't given a premise. I don't know if
this is the same for everyone else.
So
we have not given a premise.
Let me give a quick pitch.
Should I put this at the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna read the premise, and I forgot.
So the premise of the show, we follow at first 2 characters, Asakusa and Kanamori, who are 2 high school girls, where Asakusa is really interested in creating anime, and Kanamori isn't, right? But they go and watch an anime in a school theater, which is kind of weird. Obviously not something that happens in the U.S. And then
Hey, okay, hold on now.
What?
It did happen in college. I went to
oh really?
I went to the anime club just to see what was up. I'll tell you what. It's about what you would have expected, and I did not go back.
Okay. Well, so they see a young girl who they recognize as a girl who goes to the high school, but who's also a successful model, running away from what I thought was a security guard. Turns out they're bodyguards sent by her parents to keep her from joining the anime club. But it turns out she likes to animate, and long story short, they start a club for making animation, which they call the Eizouken. And
which I think just translated is like motion pictures club or something, or film club, pretty much.
But
because they couldn't call it an anime club.
Yeah. We follow the three main characters on their quest to create anime, and a lot of the scenes really are sort of the one main character, Asakusa, will kind of start imagining a scenario, and they'll switch the animation style to a more like, it looks like a crayon
it's like a crude hand-drawn
art style,
animation style, but it's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Where
yeah,
it's almost like all of the characters who are in her presence are transported into her imagination.
Yeah.
And they like accomplish tasks through like this very adventurous and imaginative, I don't know, I don't want to call it a Deus Ex Machina, but in some scenes it almost has a Deus Ex Machina sort of thing going on. I can see that. But I
think it's just a representation of what Asakusa's seeing.
Yeah, no, but the other thing, the weird thing is, it seems like everybody sees the same thing, right? But
I think you see it most with Asakusa and Mizusaki, because they're both the main animators, and I think you rarely see Kanamori taking part, because I remember there's the one scene later in the show where she's just walking across the lava that Asakusa is imagining is there, but she's just not really taking part.
But there's the scene like towards the end of the show with the student council president by when they're recording the bell.
Oh yeah,
where it seems like she kind of sees what's going on. But either way, it creates a situation where you have a relatively lighthearted storyline, but you also have these like really interesting and really imaginative is the best word for it situations where, you know, Asakusa will see like what's essentially just a normal sort of everyday thing in Japan. Like maybe she'll talk about like these crabs and how like this tank should look like a crab. It's like, you know, I'd never think of that, but that's, you know, it's cool that she's just taking these everyday things and spinning them into
and you can like follow. It's not like you can follow along with the thought process too, which is nice. It's not like something crazy,
but it's very like childlike and, you know, innocent in its imagination. It's refreshing.
It is. It's a nice, brisk show.
Yeah.
It's 12 episodes. You can knock it out in a day. Yeah. I think. I didn't take me a day, but that's fine.
It did not take me a day either. My biggest complaints are actually one, there's not more. I think there needs to be more. I think there really needs to be more. One of my favorite sort of sequences in the show is actually when they give Kanamori's backstory. That was great.
Yes, the little Kanamori.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I'm sure this show has a lot more of stuff like that.
I think, I mean, it has a lot of source material. I mean, it did only start in 2016, but that was 4 years ago. Hopefully they have enough content for, you know, another season. I would love to see another season of this.
Yeah, this is...
That said, I don't really know what kind of conflict that they could have.
I don't even think you really
I'm sure that there's something...
Yeah, I'm sure...
When I say conflict, I mean just a plot device.
I don't even think they really need to work too hard on that, right? I'm sure there are plenty of conflicts which we have no idea about that the animators know a lot about making animation. But honestly, like this is the type of show where it's like, it's almost like you're in a park and you know, you can just walk around and enjoy being in a park, and what you'll say is like, damn, I wish this park was bigger so there'd be more stuff I could see. Right? Yeah. That's really all it is. I just want to see like what they come up with.
I just want more of this show.
Yep.
I think it was surprisingly emotional at certain points. They told it. Did they have a kind of? Well, I guess the first episode served as Asakusa's backstory, or I don't want to say arc because it wasn't really, but
What you can see.
Did we get a lot from her?
Not really.
Like we did
Which
with
is another reason
Mini
why
Mori.
we could, see more. They give like her background, being friends with Kanamori, but that's it.
Honestly, the first episode when she was going inside and then it was raining and her parents left, I was like, oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, I've seen way too many dark dramas, man. That didn't happen.
Instead,
I think at least
she watches some cozy ass anime. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How come when I stay up all night watching anime, it doesn't feel that fun?
I know. Sometimes it does. Like watching this show, I kind of felt like that.
Yeah, I think its only weakness was it kind of like it had such a strong start that some of the screen time felt not properly utilized towards the end. It sort of like was unsure of itself. And I mean, I think that's kind of part of the plot at that point, that Asakusa is like unsure of herself. But I don't know, it just didn't translate into good TV, you know?
I liked the second animation they made more than the finale animation.
Yeah,
parts of the finale animation I really liked, but I think overall I liked the middle one, which kind of felt like the climax of the story and almost where it started to kind of get a little weaker towards the end. But I still think it was a great show. I got to give it like an 8.5.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think 8.5 is right on the money. You know, as Kanamori says, I never carry more than 110 on me. So I can't give this 10, of course. But 8.5 seems good. I want to see season 2. You know, this is a show that I think really would benefit from a season 2, and not every show would. I
think that about wraps up our thoughts on Eizouken.
Yeah. All right, before we wrap up this segment, let's try out a new bit. Give me your hottest take about Hands Off Eizouken.
My hottest take?
Yes.
It's not a very divisive show. There's not many hot takes on this show. If I had a hot take for Eizouken, I would say that this didn't need to be a 12-episode show initially. I think with the content they have, it could have been like a 10-episode show, more condensed, maybe a little bit stronger ending. I don't think that's really a hot take, but what's your hot take?
My hot take is that although I think the show is really good, they almost waste a character, completely waste him. And that character would be the what do you call it? Like the teacher who's in charge of the Eizouken. We see him. We see him at first where we think he'll be like really exciting and interesting
Fujimoto
character, and then we see him like 2 more times, right?
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say exciting. It's certainly an interesting
I like
character.
when he's in the car.
Yeah, no, when he's playing his like his Game Boy with the cartridge in the side. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But I want to see more of him. Give me more, you know? That's not really a hot take, but this bit will be better.
They're lukewarm takes. We can have hotter takes for more divisive content. Like Sword Art Online. I'm sure I have a lot of hot takes for that.
Too bad we'll never talk about that.
I think Alicization is pretty decent sometimes. There's my hot take. All right. Do you want to wrap it up?
Well, that's going to be about it for this episode.
Wait, what are we doing next episode?
What's
our show?
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you guys have ideas for the next episode,
who is listening?
Whoever's listening, just, tweet to us on Twitter. Hey, watch this show. Talk about this show. Because I was thinking, let's go into the vault, right? And talk about an old anime. I initially had said Hunter x Hunter with Andrew, but maybe that's a little too much too soon. We might do something.
I think Hunter x Hunter.
We might actually do Sword Art Online. Why don't we do Sword Art Online? That would be.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would be fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of people's first anime. I mean, that was my.
Yeah.
That was really my first what I'll call post 2010 anime. I guess Hunter x Hunter counts, but Sword Art Online was definitely my first normie anime.
What was your first anime?
My first dub or sub, or like my first show that I ever watched, where I'm like,
well, I guess the first
thought about it as anime,
because I know my first was a dub. It's the first thing I saw on Funimation. But what was your first dub? I guess.
Okay, I guess I have multiple first anime. My first real anime, I guess my real first anime would be either like Pokemon or Digimon as a kid. I didn't really watch Pokemon as much as I did Digimon. Digimon was like the first anime that I really watched. Then the first anime that I watched where like I recognized it as anime
Yeah.
was I think Angel Beats.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I watched that as a dub, right?
Huh.
And then my first subbed anime I watched was Slam Dunk. Not that great. Not that great. Maybe one of the best sports anime ever though. And then my first modern show that I watched was I watched Hunter x Hunter. Mm-hmm. But then like I would say the first like normie anime that I watched was definitely Sword Art Online. I was like, damn, this shit's cool. And I mean, I guess if we do so, I'm really sold on this Sword Art Online deal now. So
right.
So I think next episode you guys can hear about how I went from damn this show's really cool to like damn this show sucks. Like a lot of of American youth.
My first that I remember was watching on Funimation. I watched Detective Conan, which
really,
yeah, it was on Funimation.
How?
It was
Why?
called Case Closed. It was called
Yeah,
Case
why?
Closed.
Like why that one?
Because that was what aired most when I was watching
really?
it. And then the other would be the Galaxy Railways.
What?
Space trains.
Like
trains in space.
It's called Space Trains.
It's called the Galaxy Railways.
I've never heard of
this.
It's
Ginga Tetsudo Monogatari. It's so bizarre, but
this looks very generic.
It's fascinating.
Okay.
It's from Studio Planet. They really haven't done anything else. But yeah, it was those two that kind of started it, and then of course Naruto and Bleach. All right, that's about enough for this, I think.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I feel like I say this every time, but hopefully we get this episode out soon, and we can get another one out sooner. But don't forget, this is May 16th.
Like that.
So
and it will be May 17th when it comes out.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Follow us on Twitter at _no-spoilers.
Thanks again, and stay safe out there.
We said that last time.
Well, they should still stay safe.